All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Let's take a look and see what's going on with Bitcoin for the day here. So, this morning we are getting a drop into this little support zone right here at 62,865. Um, I kept this here because it was a point of resistance, I believe, before, so we were able to get through it, and we're staying above it for the most part. So. Here's the interesting thing about this, okay? Sunday we pumped, Monday we, got a huge wick down. We came up, we pumped a little bit, ended up being, I believe, something like $400 up for the day, even though we had a huge wick to the downside. And then now this is just mainly expanded to the downside for the most part. So is this a tweezer top is the question. And for right now, we don't know, okay? Um, it's really difficult to tell for the weekly because you could, in theory, say that this could be a bearish week. You could retest weekly open, right? 63,495, 63,602. You could retest this today and then possibly drop. Um, if we're bullish, and there are some signs that we're bullish, we would want to see us get above weekly open and stay above it. Okay, so staying above 63,495, staying above 63,602. I would say that probably, come tomorrow afternoon, if we're not back above here, and staying above here, we're going to have a bearish week. Okay. So I'm going to give it until tomorrow afternoon to kind of show its hand to see where we're going to end up at. Now, let's dive into the 12-hour here. So the 12-hour, you kind of have just this very messy candle formation thing. I don't know what this is, but it's not looking great. Um, 8 hour, it's just, yeah, it's kind of looks almost like there's going to be like a rollover in a ways. It'll be very interesting to see if, we are going to get some follow through to the upside or if we're just going to keep on going to the downside. In theory, we technically tested weekly open right here. We were above it, we retested it, so it could end up being a bearish week in general. Okay, we could just drop down to 61K, we could drop down further, but I'm open-minded. As of right now, I think it's too early on to really tell what we're going to do here. This is holding down the bulls in my opinion. I mean, this is the 4-hour time frame. We're staying above the 200 MA. You definitely want to see that when it comes to, if you're going to have a bullish bias, right? So this is not too bad. The only thing is you kind of have like a kind of a diamond-esque, pattern, which could reverse price down, right? So you kind of have like this diamond thing. But they're gonna probably try to do whatever they can to make it look as bearish as possible, today, tomorrow. It's not going to be clear cut, guys. It's going to be very, very difficult to trade this. And then once it does break out, it might be, difficult to get in sync with it. There might not be a very good pullback to get in sync with price going to the upside. So this is definitely going to be a more of a challenging week. I mean, we saw what happened yesterday. Even I got stopped out here. So just be on your toes here. This is going to be very interesting, I would say, for today. Um, Taking a look at your 1 hour. So your 1 hour, honestly, it's making a double bottom, which I don't like. But honestly, you could even bounce off of 62,345. You could come down here. You could bounce off of 62, lower 62 area. We don't want to, it seems like right now we don't want to give up 63. I would have liked to see more follow through by now. It's about 7:30, so if we were going to go to the downside, we should have gotten some more follow through by now. And same with going to the upside. So it's just going to probably kind of chop around up here, maybe within this range for a while. I don't know if it's building out some sort of inverted Adam and Eve or inverted, head and shoulders. Like this honestly even could be for on a bullish case like an inverted head and shoulders here. I don't know if it's doing that. I don't, it's very difficult to tell just by looking at the chart what it's actually trying to do. It looks like we're retesting this order block right now, so I do want to see us get accepted back in this on the hourly. Um, but yeah, guys, it's not obvious to me what's going on here. Let's see, 5 minute. Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at the 1 minute. 1 minute could be potentially getting a golden cross if we can just get some more momentum up to the upside. But let's go ahead and dive into liquidity, guys. I think we need to take a look at liquidity for right now, and see where we're at here. So taking a look at our liquidity, this is on the 4 hour. You can see that there's a lot more above us. You know, there's a lot more incentive for price to go up rather than down right now. Um, Definitely could take out that 61 area first, right? You know, into this green zone before we start heading up. But I'm not fully convinced yet that, you know, we're gonna go up first. Especially, you know, we kind of made our high on Monday. Um, Tuesday, today so far, we've kind of retested it bearishly on the weekly open. So, you know, in theory, if, you know, I had to say a direction, like, I'm just personally feeling that we're probably going to be going down for the remainder of the week. Um, but that's just, you know, again, that's a very that's based off of time and you know how I've seen the charts. It's not a very um good guess. Let's just put it that way. It's the best educated guess that I can honestly come up with for right now. It's just not. I'm seeing a lot of ambiguity in this market. It's just not being clear right now. So, um, you know, you could easily take out up to 62,140, bounce from there. It's just really going to be interesting to see what we got going on. So, as far as our trend diff is showing a -1 on the hourly. It's showing neutral on the bigger time frames, which makes sense. Um, the hourly showing that, you know, we probably are going to take out this first before we take out this. But of course, we're going to have to lose 62.8 level, which we haven't yet. And then going down into the 15 minute, you know, we lost the 200 on the 15, possibly getting a death cross on there, but it's just not getting that follow through yet. I mean, you have a lot more of this red down here, so the safest option, guys, honestly, is to short this, right, and to take profit here. You know, you could chance a long, it's, you know, to take this out, but it's just not looking as likely now. The safer bet is that we're going to go down here, but again, we just don't know at this point. You know, even taking a look at our order book on Kiyotaka, you can see that we took out, it looks like we fulfilled this order at 63,125, or we're going to, maybe, possibly. There's an order up here. So that could help bring us up, and then we have some up here, but there's more to the downside in a row. So, you know, just kind of telling us that there's a better potential that we're going to go lower. I mean, there is quite a bit to the upside as well, but we're kind of in this range where it's trying to figure out what it wants to do. So, um, you know, I just would be really careful with whatever trades you put up, whether long or short. Just don't, not financial advice, but I would not be over positioning myself or over leveraging myself today, at least for right now, until it becomes more obvious. You can chance different, you know, movement, but it's not obvious yet, in my opinion. So, let's finally take a look at the 5 minute on here. So our 5 minute does look like, you know, we have more of a potential to go to the downside because we have all this liquidity to bring us down. We have all these bridges, right, to bring us down. However, we're kind of getting a little bit of a reversal here. So it's just very conflicting information. And if we can get, you know, fulfill this order at 63,125, you know, there's a potential that that can give us enough energy to boost up, right, to the 64.5-ish area here, 65,000 even. But they're gonna, like I said, they're not gonna make this easy. They're not gonna make it obvious if we are gonna get the move up. They're gonna try to make it look as bearish as possible for right now. So, anyways, guys, that is what I have for right now. Let's take one quick look at the simple map and see what's going on there. Um, so the simple map is showing more liquidity to the downside when it comes to the 50x and the 100x, kind of leading as a pathway into the 25x area. You can see that, you know, we do have kind of a 100x bridge upward, so we might be taking out some of this before heading down to 64.5. You know, I would be targeting, you know, taking out this maybe to 64-ish area, even if we were to give a pump up right now. But it's just, it's going to be interesting to see. So maybe we get up to 64-ish and then we drop back down. Just again, like I'm not certain with these conditions what we're actually going to do. From a timing perspective, if we are going to get a reversal, it would be now. So, you want to see price, which it's doing. It's kind of flipping and reversing. That might have given it enough energy to start reversing upward, but the timing wise, it would be right now that we would get that reversal. Usually around when Sam Crypto Lifer goes live. So this makes sense if we are going to get the reversal, but again, we could always just roll over as well. Taking a look at our swing trades, so in this area here, we have a lot of liquidity right above us. Whether or not we start taking it out is a bigger question. It looks like there's not, there's a little bit to the downside to lead us even down to 57.6. So it's starting to create like a 25x, 10x, 25x mainly bridge to the downside, which is not great. Kind of implies the whole bearish aspect that we've been talking about. So your 4 hour and your daily are not, looking incredible unless we can get over this hump right here around 64,000. We get above 64,000, we have a chance to go to 65 and higher, okay? But I would say as long as, on a bullish case, the bulls want to see the 4 hour 200 MA stay intact. So this 4 hour 200 MA we cannot break. If we're going to stay bullish, we have to maintain this. This is going to be extremely important and vital because if we don't maintain this right here, then that's going to give us an opportunity to really start taking out some of this liquidity in here. So really, if you are going to lean bullish, like make sure that you're watching the 4 hour, I would say, and making sure that we stay above that. That's going to be an incredibly important area for us. So anyways, guys, that is what I have for you this morning. I will be on later this afternoon. Again, as always, if you guys want to use the trading different tools, like I always show you, your simple map, your liquidity map here, it really helps with your trading and identifying where trend is out on the bigger and smaller time frames. Always feel free to use my code Sean. You'll get 10% off of your subscription. So tradingdifferent.com/code/Sean to get that 10% off. And with that being said, guys, I will talk to you all later. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.